Hey everyone, Neen here from the Hyperactive Bookworm, here to do another In the Car book review. Alright, so the last book I read for August is Kat Jackson's The Roads Left Behind Us. I listened to it, so it was narrated by Lila Winters, and her drawl was just fabulous. I really enjoyed listening to the lull of her voice. It was delicious. Now, this book was divine. I really enjoyed it. Single point of view, which I adore listening to single point of views, especially when they're real well written, and this is well written. I was blown away by Kat Jackson's way with language, her writing. I loved the humor throughout this book. It was fantastic. The amount of times I am driving along listening to it and I would just guffaw because it was just fantastic. Was great. It was absolutely fantastic. So we have Callie, our main character, who is heading back to uni to do her PhD, and she's also taking on the role of a TA. So this was really interesting for me because my God, it's been way too many years since I went to uni. But over here, I do know that the university college system situations are very different, and I would actually be very curious to see how much does overlap with Australia versus America. But I still found it really, really fascinating getting a little more insight into that collegial atmosphere, and all the characters, all the dynamics of personalities that come together, and it was fantastic. The only thing I did have a problem with was the amount of people in it, in Callie's life. I got it confused a few times with some of her friends as in who was who, but that did clear up, so that's fine. To be fair, it could have just been my issue with forgetting names, which, hey, let's be honest, it happens a lot. But that was probably my only issue with it. I loved the dynamics within this story of the friendships, the relationships, the banter back and forth. It was interesting. Now, so this book is the single point of view, which I mentioned. It is slow burn, it is workplace, it is age gap, and Ice Queen. So there's a lot of kick-ass tropes within this book, and the best way I can think about describing how this book made me feel was it began with that sort of, you're just locked into the bar at the start of a roller coaster, and it's that trepidation, that click, click, click of something is gonna happen, but what exactly that is really not certain, and I freaking was all for it. I love getting into a single point of view because, I don't know, I feel like when they're well written like this book is, I feel like I can relate a lot more to them, especially as Callie's like, did I imagine that? Surely that's not what she's saying. What the hell is going on? Like, and I felt that as well because, you know, we didn't get the second point of view where we actually know what the other character's thinking. So I just love that dynamic. It just, for me, feels so much more real, which is cool and frustrating and dynamic and wonderful as well. And let me tell you, when we get to the steam, yes, it's a slow burn, but damn, when we get to the steam, boy do we get to the steam. I loved Kat's balance within this book of the steam being enough to hello, let you know what's going on, but I didn't feel bogged down by so much detail that it felt like an instruction manual. I mean, hey, I'm sure there are plenty of people out there who would love the instruction manual, but that's not what I read this book for. And I'm really glad for that balance because it was so amazing. And Kat's build up of everything of story, of relationships, of emotions, and like I kind of adore that the reader isn't omnipotent either. We don't know everything. Callie gets hinted at, you know, some of her friends knowing this stuff, and they're like, nah, you're not gonna know. And she literally does not get told. She does not know. And I love that, because that's the reality of life. Like, it's just so much real and just tangible and delicious, and I think I've gone on long enough. All I can say is I am really curious to read more of Kat Jackson's work. Her humor is just fantastic, and I really, really enjoyed this story. So I will be checking out more of hers, and I would definitely recommend this. If you like any of those tropes, go check it out. Beautiful writing, just beautiful, beautiful writing, and amazing way with words. All right, thanks y'all.